Hi everyone, I'm Shivani and I am in second year at the University of Waterloo in Canada. This is my first video, so I'm super excited about it. This video series, I'll be posting more videos soon, is about the experiences of an international student. Come on now. You come from a different country and you have to adjust to this new environment, make some good friends, hopefully get good grades in the class, and all sorts of fun stuff. And it is not as easy as you would think, but at the same time, it's not that difficult. I will be sharing my experiences with you guys about different kinds of things. I've been living here for 2 years now, and 3 more years, I'll be done with my program. Okay, that was weird. Um, okay, yeah, in this 2 years, I have lived in 6 different places. And yes, I'm not crazy. Um, so in my program, we have this. I'm in engineering here, and we have a co-op or an internship program, whatever term you know. And how it works is you study for 4 months, you work for 4 months, you study for 4 months, you work for 4 months, and this goes on. And you don't really know the place where you're going to be working. So I have never ever had an agreement which lasted for more than 4 months. That's why 6 places. And in those 6 places, I've had different kinds of housing. I've lived on campus, I've lived off campus, I've had different kinds of roommates. So I'm thinking of having like a video section dedicated only for housing experience. Then I did not know how to cook before I came to Canada, but over the time I've learned to cook food which is edible. Yes, that's what I would call it. Sometimes it tastes good too. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll talk about some interesting things or interesting facts. I don't know what to call it, but interesting experiences I've had living in Canada so far. So, first things first, the names used here are different than what we. Okay, I'm from India, and the names used here are different. Like for things, not for every particular thing, but some things. So this thing out here, yeah. Okay, this should be here. This thing in India, it's just like it's not a marker. It's just like yeah, you can see what it is. This thing in India is called a sketch pen, but in Canada it's called a Sharpie, and I'm pretty sure in another country it would be called something else. So that's I think one interesting thing. Then we have Smarties here in Canada. They're called gems in India. They're just colored candies with chocolate filled inside. They're so good. I love them. And what else? Then there's pencil case here, which we call pouches, or in India, whitener. So you know the white ink to which you apply on your writing just in case you've made a mistake. That in India is called a whitener, but here in Canada you call it whiteout. So yeah, that's one different thing. Um, yeah, so that was one very interesting thing, and it's taking me time. I'm still getting used to different terminologies, but it's so much fun. The second thing, the weather. The weather in Canada is unpredictable. Don't even get me started on that. Okay, I will. The weather is so like you don't know what is going to happen the next moment. There was a day in April when we had snow. We had for some time we had snow. That's kind of like winter to summer transition, when winter to spring transition. So it's kind of like not so hot, but towards cold, but it's not that bad. So that day it snowed for a while, stopped snowing, it became sunny, stopped becoming sunny, it started snowing again, and that cycle went over and over and over again. I was like, what's wrong with you, Mother Nature? Yeah, April Fool's Day's over. Stop it now. I want a normal weather. Yeah, that is one of the days I just cannot forget. But usually on a daily basis, you're better off being prepared for all sorts of weather. Um, Yeah, and I come from India, so it's usually not that cold there in India. But winters here are cold. They snow, so yeah, of course it's cold. And the coldest I had been to before coming to Canada was like 4 or 5 degrees, which is nothing. So the first winter, I was on an internship or co-op program, and you could see me covered in like caps and scarves and glasses, 2 layers, mittens. Like you couldn't see a single part of my body. Like every single thing was covered. Boots on, and people at my workplace, they're super chilled about it. They were like, you know what, this is a mild winter. And I'm like, stop saying that. I'm freezing here. Yeah, so apparently it was quite mild and I froze. So I was good experience, but now I'm kind of getting used to it. Okay, and okay, this thing is very interesting. And I'm pretty sure it's not the case in all countries, but in I guess the countries around India. So in India, regardless of the weather, the sun sets around five. Like by 6, it's usually dark. Here in Canada, in the summer, the sun does not set until 9. It's like 7:30 p.m. right now, and it's quite bright outside. Like yeah, like that's how bright it is. Like the sun hasn't even set as yet. And I'll show you I'll show you a segment of that at a later time. It will just mess up the lighting here. What else? Okay, so this is more like an Indians thing, but vegetarians in India. I'm a vegetarian, and vegetarians in India don't eat eggs. The people who eat eggs and are vegetarians are called eggetarians. We have a special term for them. But here in Canada, vegetarians eat eggs. And I think that's the case with most countries, but of course, I didn't know that. So we had this cafeteria where we would get our meals from, and they were like for the first week, I'm pretty sure, I've eaten stuff which had egg in it. And the day I realized that was the case, I was like, oh my gosh, that shouldn't be happening. I felt really bad. Uh, but yeah, that was quite an interesting thing. But if you knew, I guess you would be more prepared. And that's what my video series are, so that you're just more better prepared. Yeah, I'm covering my face to avoid the lighting affecting, to avoid the lighting getting affected. But yeah, I was thinking of having more videos on food, like what kind of foods you can get. I can probably take a video at the grocery store. And don't worry, I am equally aware of non-vegetarian meal options and items. I have quite a few friends who eat non-veg stuff. I'll be talking about the culture here, housing, and any other topic you want me to make a video on. So, fellas, this brings us to the end of my video. I remember. I think you can just see like how bright it is. Like, look at it. I can see the sun. It's like, yeah, it's only 7:30 p.m. It's not only 7:30 p.m., but it's 7:30 p.m. The sun is close to set. Regardless. So, fellas, yeah, it's time for me to say goodbye. But I'll meet you again soon, and please post any comments, anything you want to watch in particular, or anything you want me to make a video on. Do comment. Until then, bye bye.